Well, there was an absolute rout on European markets overnight because someone said, hey, wait a minute, if the US is no longer AAA, what about France and Germany, which have almost as much debt? And so their markets fell more than 5% as they worried about their banks. And then there was a huge sell-off on Wall Street and it lost all of yesterday's gains, but the Chinese market went up. Now, you may have already noticed this, but volatility has increased somewhat. Here's an index of it, called the VIX index, and it's back to where it was last May, when the first Greek default panic happened. The negative economic surprises index for the United States, however, is back to 2008 levels, which is the other thing that's depressing markets at the moment, on top of the threat of a new credit crisis caused by European default. And if you just look at today's close, Australia would seem an oasis of calm, but in fact the All Ordinaries gapped at the opening, which means it opened 30 points below yesterday's close, fell further and then recovered. So it was a wild day in keeping with the VIX. Part of the reason it recovered this afternoon was that Telstra's profit of $3.2 billion was better than expected, even though it was 16.8% down on last year. So the shares jumped 5.7%. Rupert Murdoch released a solid result for News Corp, so its shares went up 3.8%, even though he said he's planning to stick around. Or because of that, who knows. David Jones said fourth quarter sales fell 16%, so its shares dropped 6.5%. Myer went out in sympathy, and gold miner Newcrest jumped 4% because the gold price hit $1,814 an ounce last night before settling back to $1,785 this afternoon. And finally, the Australian dollar is back down at 102.7 US cents. And that's finance.